Welcome back to another video. With virtually limitless amount of information at our fingertips, we can teach ourselves almost anything. From making drugs all the way to acting as a surgeon, today we talk about 5 weird things people have done at home. Number 1. Act as a surgeon. You know when you want to spice up your relationship and you start to play role-playing games, so one of you dresses up as a doctor and the other one is the naughty nurse? Well, this doctor took it a bit too far and cut off his own thumb. A former soldier, Paul Dibbins, age 57, made a crazy decision to save his leg. 2 of his leg's fingers, including the thumb, developed gangrene and had to be amputated. The gangrene developed because he was fixing a car out in the cold and didn't have appropriate footwear. While fixing the car, he got a frostbite, and unfortunately for Paul, gangrene soon developed. When Paul reached the doctor, he was set to wait more than 6 weeks in a line for the operation. By that time, his leg would have to be cut off right below the knee. Paul decided to take matters in his own hands and performed the surgery on his own. Remarkably, with no painkillers and using just a set of pliers, Paul succeeded. When visiting a doctor after the surgery, the doctor said, "You're a madman, but at least you did everything by the book." To make things even weirder, Paul did this procedure while his wife and 3 children were at home in another room.
Back in my days, we did operations on ourselves.
Number 2. Build a 50,000 amp transformer. I'm not going to go for the obvious joke here, but yes, we're talking about transformers. There are many DIY videos on YouTube where people show you how to use a transformer from a microwave, hotwire it, and make a device that can easily melt metal. Usually these devices are around 800 amps. Well, this guy made his own and it was 50,000 amps. And he did this in his living room. The owner of this device is a professional electrician, and in his videos, he clearly states that you shouldn't do this at home. Yeah, like I have all of the needed parts just lying around there to make a 50,000 amp transformer. He then continues to show how the device is capable of heating up large pieces of metal. I'm still fascinated that everything looks like it's done in a living room. This guy makes a lot of interesting videos about electricity and has gained a huge following on YouTube. I will leave a link to his channel down in the description. Number 3. Grow weed. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 plants, I'm talking about hundreds, if not even thousands of plants. And if you plan to do so, try not to get caught like these guys. 13 miles away from Amsterdam, the police raided a house that was supposed to be a massive weed farm. Even though it's legal to smoke there, it's illegal to grow the plant in large amounts. So the question still remains, how did the police know where to look? Well, the criminals were growing the plant at the top floor of the house. In order for the plant to grow, they had to maintain a constant temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. Unlucky for the criminals, it started to snow. The heat from the room caused all of the snow on the roof to melt, and after receiving an anonymous tip, it was painfully obvious where to look. Number 4. Keep a bull in your basement. By bull, I mean a car. And if you were guessing a Lamborghini, then you guessed correctly. This guy built a Lamborghini Countach in his own basement. This actually is amazing, and if I could do such a thing, I would definitely do it. It took the owner 17 years to build the car, which is an exact handmade replica of the original. What's remarkable about this story is that once the car was finished, there was no way of getting the car out. You see, there were no doors or exits large enough to fit the car through. So in order to get the bull out of the basement, the owner had to dig a huge hole and tear down one of the walls. Either way, it's amazing what he did. Number 5. Make a home meth lab. Not a common issue nowadays, but back in the early 2000s, there were meth labs all over the place. Well, at least in Oklahoma, where the police busted more than 900 homemade meth labs in the year 2000 alone. Consuming and ingesting methamphetamine is dangerous enough, and even more health hazardous is making it. Short-term exposure to chemicals that are used to make meth can cause severe lung disease, skin and throat burns, and even death. Most meth house owners were or became addicted to the drug themselves. This was such a problem back in the 2000s that Oklahoma made a website telling you how you can know if your house had been used as a meth lab. The site also explicitly tells you how to clean up the house if it had been used as such. I left a link to this website down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't. Also, I would like to know what are the weirdest things you have done at home.